ano. So this is what LGUs are using, the DILG Local Planning Illustrative Guide. For those who are with national or with private, it may be the first time you're glancing at this particular document. Isn't it? So,
Yes.
first time ba?
Yes po, ma'am, sa akin.
Ganun ba? Sa,
Yes po, ma'am.
sandali lang ha, at ano, I'll just open na lang sa ibang, wait lang. First time ano, may, wag ka lang ano, wag ka lang kabahan. It's something na mas ano, you know, si LUP is more complex kasi it's a policy plan eh. Anything na involving policy should be more ano kasi that's the foundation, the foundational guide ano. But this one is quite, pero some people are complaining na bakit sobrang ano naman, sobrang complex na talaga yung sa CDP. Yeah, I told you about ano, di ba, DILG is the ones, I came from that agency. So I know the history about that. And of course, DILG would always, ano to? Would assert, you know, their role also in the overall planning of LGUs. So I'll just transfer to another. Okay. We need to understand a little bit about CDP, although mostly they will be giving CLUP kasi doon familiar yung mga ano. Unless you're with the ILG, parang ganon. And kaya nakita niyo dalawa yung nag-top na from the ILG. Because I think the most well-rounded agency because the ILG tackles everything eh, kahit barangay justice, and then children in ano in conflict with crime and all this God lahat oversee ni DILG. So hindi mo talaga sila ano matatalo dyan. So even if planning agency is HLURB or DSUD, by the way, so I think so they cover more.
Yes.
Di ba no? Ako nga noon eh, I was still very young with the ILG and I already tackle mga peace and order, ganyan. So, secretariat kasi ang ILG sa Peace and Order Council. And so, you need to be working very closely with either the mayor or the governor. Ganyan. So, here. Okay. Let me just see. Ako na lang mag-share because ibayan lang natin yung loob natin. Basta may matandaan kayo sa bawat babasahin ninyo. So, okay. I will select whatever is the most complicated aspect of CDP. Hindi pa ganito ito noon, pero already. Let's see if we can compare. So look at this, even the rationale, as noong 2015, it says here that, that only 48.71% nationwide, di ba? While was able to formulate. So, ganun siya kahirap. Lalo na yung sa LUP, di ba? And of course, you don't need to memorize. You just need to look at the framework, parang ganon. And because I really wanted to make sure na nadaanan din natin. So, ganun din. It has 3 parts like preparatory. Iba din yung parts niya na preparatory and then the planning process. And then authority levers, okay, and implementation instruments. So you can benefit from this. If you're familiar with this, you can benefit for the area 3 of your boards, which is planning implementation. The legal aspects, mga ganon din for laws naman. So you can also see here, remember for the coverage, like for example, it says here CLUP 9, CDP 6, ELA 3, it's saying it's the minimum. So for example, Jean is from Santa Maria, and if she will be formulating soon her CLUP, like 2024 2025 mag-start, you don't need to do like kapag i-follow mo kasi to, it means that it could be until 2034, ganun, for a 10-year plan. But you can also be creative and you can extend to 2035. So basta lang na-meet mo yung minimum. So that's how it goes. And it's also saying here that they are distinct, diba? The comprehensive land use plan and CDP are distinct and separate. So please read the definition of terms here, because it's comprehensive, so it's understood. It says here it's geographical territorial sense, while the term comprehensive in the CDP has to be understood in the sense of multi-sectoral. Okay, so yet the two plans are intimately related. It has to be dependent of each other, eh. But of course, ideally, many people are asking, so which one should come first? So it's not a case of a chicken and egg, because you can also read from here, the CLUP can well be regarded as the plan for the long-term management of the local territory. So as the skeletal circulatory framework of the territories, physical development, it identifies areas where development can and cannot be located and directs public and private investments accordingly. So the CDP, on the other hand, is the action plan. So, di ba, the action plan cannot really come ahead of anything. Before you act on something, either a policy or a plan or a strategy, you need something that you can refer to. So it should be informed, the CDP should be informed by the CLUP. So you may not be able to find that probably here, but that's the reality. Okay, so it says here the CDP, on the other hand, is the action plan utilized by every local administration to develop and implement priority, sectoral and cross-sectoral programs. And that's why there are some templates that are providing for cross-sectoral programs and projects. So they are found in the annexes of this particular document. And so I'll just continue this one. Okay, to put flesh on the skeletons gradually and incrementally until the desired shape or form of development is eventually attained over the long term. So this is consistent with the definition of planning as public control of the plan. Okay, so I hope you can remember this framework, 9, 6, 3. So ima-minus mo lang yung yung 3 years. So what are so if there are questions like about comparison, so they are distinct yet interrelated. So the two plans. And then, so yun lang naman yung importante in this particular page. And then the 963. And then responsibility siguro, let's see. Baka it may ask about responsibility and legislative work that CLUP assigned to the Sangguniang Bayan, panlungsod, panlalawigan, while the CDP, so I was the one managing that by the LDC. So as provided for under sections 106 and 109, am I correct? And then it's also talking about public control and participation, that, CLUP is seen as a people's plan, enacted into zoning ordinance. So while also in terms of the review process for the CLUP involves the PLUC and then HLURB. Yeah, the CDP is not like that, so it does not go through all those processes. So but there are challenges also for CDP. However, more challenges for CLUP, di ba? That a major concern is preventing the long-term CLUP from being undermined by changing administration. So that's really very important. So that's why they have separated the CLUP from the CDP and enacting it as a zoning ordinance. So the plan retains its authority and continuity. That's because of the zoning ordinance. Okay, while the CDP is very flexible, it's more flexible than any other because it allows local administrators to implement and adopt priority programs and projects as needed within the framework set by the CLUP. So ito din, I already sent this prior pa, no? Just to make sure you're understanding the difference. Okay, spatial, or it's also policy. It's a policy plan. So the third line, the third row there is trying to compare what it means to be comprehensive within in the context of CLUP, because it says encompassing territorial jurisdiction between land and water, while comprehensive here embracing all development sectors and subsectors and concerns of each. However, in CLUP, it has also defined meron din siyang sectoral di ba? Ecosystems, especially in volume 2, before volume 3, pero volume 2, where analysis are taking place, the ecosystems analysis, sectoral analysis, and then the special area, isn't it? So, and it should, I mean, in this book, it's saying na between land and water, but it has also its sector. Iba lang yung technique. Iba din yung use niya, but interrelated. So, and if you look at the fourth one, defines the policy direction for the use of land resources within territorial jurisdiction. The CDP naman, it says, outlines specific application of the available land and resources. So, whichever where the output of CLUP, it will be used by CDP. Have you heard anything that the output of CDP will be used for CLUP? So it could be very challenging, but of course you can draw. There are sub plans like LCCAP and then the DRR and all this. They can inform also CLUP, but it should emanate from CLUP. If you're not able to do this very quickly, then would be very helpful if the sub-plans can be formulated first, but it's not that kind of prescription. You need to mutually reinforcing kasi lahat ito eh. So you can do na sabay-sabay if you have the powers. Pag one man one man office ka lang, would be very difficult also. Kaya we need more planners, no? And so CDP says CLUP says accounts for available supply of land resources. Remember the formula of Professor Sarote, isn't it? the total minus blah, 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 all those production, and then the built up. So you need to know all those, the protected area, and even buffer, you need to already deduct from there so that you can no longer use that for other uses. So, but of course, there are some within the buffer area, meron siyang restriction, but you can make that as multiple. They can use that for other parang multiple use, di ba? That buffer. So, okay, demand for land resources based on sectoral development goals. Demand for land resources based on sectoral development goals. Yeah, doon siya, this one, there will be conflict here on, so dapat isa lang talaga yung gumagawa. If there are many people doing, na hindi, mas madaming hindi na-involved sa CLUP, and then suddenly they're doing CDP, yeah, there would be some discrepancy here. So it needs to be informing each other. So, and by the way, the 4 policy areas, please don't forget, okay? It will be asked for sure. It will be asked in the kaya siguraduhin natin na alam natin what are the contents of production, settlements, protection and infrastructure. In the CDP, it's talking about the 5 development sectors: social, economic, physical, environment, institutional. So, I don't also understand why the institutional sector in the CLUP was removed. And then, but here in the CDP, it was retained. But anyway, so we're not into that for the board exams. After you pass na lang. We are here to determine very quickly ano yung difference niya. So, diagrams the desired fiscal pattern of growth of the locality, and then for CDP, provide convergence mechanism to integrate NGA's plans with local plans. Invariably takes a long time to carry out, so short time frame and should be used as a medium to implement out. It says short time frame and should be used as a medium to implement the CLUP. So there are many uses of CLUP and not just for CDP, isn't it? Especially for investments. And also CDP has investment framework or investment component. Okay, some local equivalent of counterpart of, remember, for the CLUP, we are doing a hierarchy of the framework. So national, and then RPFP, and then PDPFP, and then CLUP. Okay, here naman at CDP, it must coincide with us. So if you're doing a hierarchy of the CDP, and then it goes up through to the national. Okay, because nakasali na kasi yung, kaya PDPFP, the development aspect, the sectoral aspect already was incorporated in the PDPFP, and that's why the hierarchy within the CDP or within this framework is not continuous because it stops from there, but it has to be consistent with the MTPDP and the NTPIP, because the rest of the framework kasi hindi na yun, di ba? Hindi na siya political or anything that, because this should coincide with the political term of our local officials, and so putol siya doon sa part na regional. Okay, and putol din siya doon sa sa province, precisely because it was integrated in the PDPFP. So in terms of the hierarchy of plans, but I'm not saying about coordination, collaboration. Of course, it's always interrelated. Okay, and that's why, yeah, anyway, after you pass na lang, we will talk again about this one. So ELA, don't forget about ELA. For sure, they will be asking about ELA na it is covering 3 period, but it's also, like, ano yung kanya, ano yung goal nito, di ba? And it says there the ELA is not meant to replace or duplicate existing planning systems, and rather it adds greater value to the CLUP and CDP by moving them forward to getting implemented in one. So that's the DILG concept. They really wanted that, there's harmony in the, and it's a mandatory plan, so walang magawa ang LGU. Okay, so it's mandatory. It's something, it has inner, it has it has its own intrinsic value. Okay, so here, for sure, ano natin to, kailangan ninyong malaman din ito, no? So can you see long-term, can you see that long-term framework plan? And so ito lahat, so like a guide, okay, like a guide, and you need to familiarize yourself. That don't be confused with those sectors that are within the CLUP. Okay, because it involves ecosystems, etc., and all those green development, all the ancestral domain, and nandun lahat. But here, yeah, it's concentrated on, it's focused on this one, those traditional sectors. Okay, multi-year, so long-term yung 9. Baka kasi tanongin so how long is long-term framework plan? So a question such as that. Then multi-year, multi-sectoral development plan. So it's likened to a medium plan, and then term-based agenda. So you have to be familiarized with the terminologies. Implementation. So what are those instruments involved here in the CDP and the LDIP? The LDIP is meron siyang AIP din, diba? So which means that it has to be planned. Besides the LDIP, you need also to do the AIP. Okay, to organize, the PPAs. So, but CapDev, baka kasi tanungin din ito CapDev also is integral, or it's an important component or as an instrument here to implement CDP, ELA. And then, kailangan malaman natin ito, monitoring and evaluation strategy, legislative requirements and support. So 1, 2, 3, 4, please familiarize yourself. Kasi ito lang yung medyo baka makalimutan ninyo. Okay. So there's the annual budget. So, kaya meron tayong planning budgeting linkage. So here output. So ano yung mga output after all these were formulated? Improve public services, new or improved facilities, increase public awareness from all this, both budget, the annual budget and the AIP. So here. Okay. I'll wait for you while you read this. You cannot keep talking. You need to read. So, okay, I'll give you 1 minute more. So, the 6-year CDP, the role of the CDP actually is it translates the spatial framework or the policy framework of the CLUP into actionable sectoral goals. It outlines specific, biglang nakita ko yung mga mukha nyo, wait lang ha. Wait lang, okay. Oops. So, it says here, nakalimutan ko tuloy. It outlines specific development programs and projects that address the need of each sector. So the PPAs, okay? Ensuring a holistic approach to local development. So true or false, it will be very helpful for you to know at least, diba? So term-based agenda, referring to the ELA, which is 3 years, especially for those who are not really involved in CDP process. So here in this group. So the ELA, so what's the diba I told you it should harmonize the functions and the PPAs of both the legislature and the executive branch. So the ELA operationalizes the goals of both the CLUP and the CDP within the term of the local elected officials. It ensures also that the strategic plans are implemented and monitored effectively, aligning with the administration's platform. So, okay, kanina ito, I would like you to indeed memorize ito kasi for sure ito lang yung medyo hindi nyo kabisado, the implementation instruments. So I repeat, before we leave this page, Local Development Investment Program or the LDIP details the priority investment programs and projects to be implemented. Okay, and then CapDev also focuses on building the capabilities of local institutions and personnel to effectively implement the plans. So I think it's easy to remember, right? So monitoring and evaluation strategy, the one I always refer to as MNE, ensures the continuous assessment of the progress and effectiveness of the implemented program. So it measures actually the performance, okay, and the project itself. So whether the effectiveness of the program. Then legislative requirements and support provides the necessary legal backing and support for the implementation of the plans. So pag ibaba natin siya, you are seeing the plans or the the document that that should be that's mandatory. That we are seeing the AIP. So it's, of course, it was derived from the LDIP. So it should be consistent. So this program specifies the investments and projects to be undertaken annually. Then the annual budget, of course, allocates financial resources to the prioritized programs and projects, ensuring they are funded and executed. So we are on 28th tonight. I keep looking. So, and of course, the results there, kasi pag ito lang, kahit ito lang yung natin, the results there, you can see improved public services, isn't it? Improved public services means that there should be enhancements to be felt as to quality and accessibility of public services provided to the community. And then yung new or improved public facilities or infrastructure, I think it's self-explanatory, but it's all about development and upgrading of essential infra and facilities. Then increased public awareness and participation means that it is expected that higher levels of public engagement and participation in local governance and development activities should be achieved. And increased private sector investment means that you're able to encourage private sector involvement in local, social, and economic development, leading to a more robust local economy. Then the outcomes there for the long term, diba, output is Yeah, it is the, short to medium. Then we have the long-term impact should be the outcome. And that's why it says, pag nakakakita kayo ng change in, ibig sabihin, it is the outcome. Okay, baka kasi tanungin din ito, change in. So that will give you a signal that it could be an outcome or it could be an impact. But impact, ang keyword for the impact is sustainability. But for outcome, the change that's being desired for each intervention. So it means it's not the output level, but it's the outcome level. So change in economic and social well-being of constituents, isn't it? That there should be improvement in the quality of life and well-being of constituents due to better services, due to those that you have delivered in your LGU, the interventions. So due to better services, facilities, and economic opportunities. Also in physical environment. So there should be positive changes in the configuration and quality of the physical environment contributing to sustainable development. Also, change in institutional capacities means enhanced capabilities of local institutions to manage and sustain development efforts effectively. So I hope you have already have the full grasp of this particular frame of this diagram. Okay ba? 'Di ba? So kaya illustrative guide because they illustrated everything here. So that's the relationship of what? That's the relationship of city municipal plans. Okay? Then I hope you can also just a moment. May nag-expire. Okay. Sorry I need to log in lang dito sa just a moment. Malakas ng ulan sa amin. Buti. Hang on. Okay. So, may step 1 siya, but it's not as complicated as CLUP. And you just have to be very particular or siguro ang kabisaduhin natin dito yung timeline. Kasi 'di ba may budget aspect kasi siya eh. So you need to look into the timeline. So what does it say here? So yung mga familiar ng ng CDP should really know, no? The first step in CDP preparation will lay down the foundation of the succeeding steps. The composition of the planning team will dictate the inclusiveness, comprehensiveness, and ownership of the CDP. It is not necessary for okay? It emphasized bold letters. It's not necessary for LGU department heads to be members. Baka kasi baka tanungin yan eh, no? Ano kaya? Okay, and then knowledgeable, I mean, we cannot deny that. So nandyan sa guide, knowledgeable technical staff will be sufficient. So be guided by the prescribed core planning team in the CDP. Samantala, for CLUP, di ba, the more the merrier? That's the super committee. So it says here, it's very important that the commitment of every member of the planning team is ensured through an executive order. Okay, so the role, there should be an EO identifying specific members with their role. Okay, so through an EO with a corresponding work plan. The team should be organized and mobilized to take all the required tasks in the preparation of the CBP. So, ano pa ba yung, ano yung mga boxes dyan, ano? So, we need to tackle that also. Hang on. Wait lang. Okay. So, mainstreaming entry point, make sure to include in the planning structure sectoral committees that advocate for. So, yung thematic concerns na sinasabi, so that's the CCADRR and then the PWD, children, seniors, so all those marginalized sector, di ba? So, of course, the SWD, OSCA, GPPS, etc. ICCs also, and then the representatives of local special bodies and local advisory councils. So, okay. Major activities, lead of office persons. So, tingnan mo na rin yung ano, no, the role of CPDC here. And then, what differentiates it from CLUP? Kasi, ano because this is, CDP is guided by the ILG, supervised by the ILG. So, the MLGOO is always present, di ba? And naka-identify talaga yung role of MPDC and the MLGOO. So there are templates there. You can just look for it. Okay. Then for the step 2, ano bang sinasabi ng step 2 dyan? Yeah. Revisit the vision. So, kapag may vision na sa CLUP, you can adapt here. Hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng inconsistent. There are most of the LGUs, I can say, na dito sila kumukuha sa CDP ng vision kasi mas nauunang natatapos ito. So they kind of get that, parang ganon. Kasi this is more dynamic na plan. So dynamic in the sense that it changes. It's something na, 'di ba, nakalagay flexible doon sa characteristics niya. So it says here it aims to revisit the LGU vision for its responsiveness to recent mandates and prevailing situations and identify and profile the existing plans the LGU has. So this will help the planning team in limiting or expanding the scope of the ecological profile. So there's also emphasis in ecological profiling here, and existing sectoral and thematic plans that are still responsive to the prevailing situation can be incorporated to the CDP. So there's another emphasis, there's no need to redo the profiling and project identification for these plans. However, if these existing plans are determined to be obsolete, then there's a need to update them by including the concerned sector or team in the ecological profile. So the inventory of NGA mandated or prescribed sectoral and thematic plans are provided in table 2. So you can look at the table 2 later. Dun sa template, so toward annexes after, see, this consists of 108 pages. So, okay, in the step 2, these are the outputs, no? Vision, final vision, list of responsive plans, list of plans that needs to be updated, list of accomplished PPAs. So, and it also says here, there are 33 legally mandated local plans as shown in table 2. Okay. Baka tanungin din. And then the lead officers, di ba? Lead or the focal persons or lead office and the persons. You can see again role of the MLGO and then of course the LGU department heads. So, Then, you can look at this table 2, no? The NGA mandated plans. Kasi, parang ano na lang din ninyo, summary na lang din ninyo. Baka it will ask you at least makakuha ka dito ng ano, protection of children, fisheries, and then culture and arts. Dito na rin ninyo kukunin yung ano, sa anti-poverty. And then if you have number 5 and then LDREAM plan, food security. Alam niyo itong food security plan, this was during the time of ERAP eh. Yan. Then forest management plan, GAD, and then IACP yung safety plan, okay? And then and so forth and so on. Nadatnan ko naman ito when I was with the ILG, nadatnan ko lahat ito, especially itong SAF-DZ. SAF-DZ, no? So, then watershed, ALS-PP, nadatnan ko rin ito lahat. Wala naman ako, parang wala naman nagbago, except for the culture and arts, wala nung panahon na namin ito. Wala pa yan. So, ito lang yung sa culture and the arts plan, local tourism plan. Okay. Anyway, other sector thematic maps. So, nutrition action plan, ICT, local shelter plan. Ang dami, ano? So, that makes it 33 ba? So, 22 plus 11. Plan for the elderly. Maganda, di ba? Kapag ka madaming plans, it means hindi kayo mawawalan ng work. So, okay. So, next is the, ano na EP. So, I think it's not really very complicated, ano? Basta sinabi lang niya doon. Pero yung preparation kasi is sobrang complicated. You know, CDP, the DILG, parang every year, nagdadagdag sila ng columns. Correct me if I'm wrong. Gawain talaga ng DILG yun. Because I came from this agency eh. So, third step will essentially start the CDP cycle as prescribed in the CDP guide. So, look at this ha. Titingnan ninyo itong mga months niya. More than half of the work plan for the preparation of the sale should be dedicated primarily for AP and the identification of issues and the interventions to address them as contained in the structured list of PPAs. Okay. Okay, so ito yung output daw niya. Ngayon, yeah, I never encountered any question on rapids in the boards, pero basahin niyo na lang din hindi ko na rin panahon ito sa DILG. Rapids as a tool was not there when I was at DILG. And then itong enhance, please try to go over it. I'm just looking at the other aspects na medyo mahirap. So this is what it's trying to say about the structured list of PPAs as an output document. So it says steps 1 to 5 readily usable EP, including the updated LGU vision. Actually, I can share after na makapasa na kayo, can share all those templates that I have so that you can start kapag ka walang bakante sa LGU, halimbawa madaming ENP sa LGU nyo, then there are mas madami yung LGUs na walang ENP. Kasi either nag-retire na sila or wala pa talaga, 'di ba? Lalo na ngayon, it requires education. So, you transfer to other LGU. So that's my advice. And become MPDC yourself. Okay? Ganun lang 'yon. Huwag kayong makipagsiksikan sa matagal pa mag-retire. Because you need to be MPDC agad-agad. 'Di ba? Okay. If that's what you want, pwede rin sa national agency kung gusto niyo makipag-compete doon because it's all about career advancement din. So 9, 10, okay. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So approving after the LDIS structured list, approving and legitimizing the plan, investment programming, and then budgeting, implement the plan, and of course, you do MNE. So these are the guidelines. And then the rapids, I'll not take the, ano tong rapids na to. But, you know, Venn diagram for me is very interesting. Because I do, gusto kong ginagawa yung ano na yan, yung, sandali lang. Nasaan na yun? Let me see. Balikan ko lang ha. Plan monitoring. Mas kinabahan na si Kwan dito, no? Si Annalyn. Annalyn, kinabahan ka na ba dito? Hindi naman ano?
Medyo na ano-ano ko naman po yung medyo na ano ko
Na,
sa CLUP. Parang yung iba dyan
oo,
na
di ba?
anuhan ko naman sa CLUP. Opo.
Okay. Now, for this one pala, are you able to view it? So, diba, nakikita niyo naman, vision reality gap. Diba, may scoring dyan. Nalala niyo yung pinapa-score. I'm not sure kung kung maalala pa ninyo yon when we need to do some score for the vision reality gap. I'm sure I-encounter ninyo yung mga ganito na mga gaps ganyan, ano? Because we need to revisit di ba? When we revisit the vision, yeah, it reflects parang it's something that you conduct, paano mo siya i-determine yung current reality, parang ganon, is you need to conduct situational analysis to assess the current state of the LGU, and this includes collecting and analyzing data on physical, social, economic, environmental, institutional conditions. So, what's important there is in any component, you need to establish or you need to provide a baseline against which progress can be measured. What you cannot measure, you cannot really determine the success or the failure of your PPA or your policy because you're not able to measure it. So, paano mo siya masabi na, it's very efficient or it's very effective when you cannot even measure, you don't have the rubrics or you don't even, wala kang baseline din, di ba? So, understanding the current reality is crucial for identifying gaps, okay, between existing conditions and the desired future state. So, and how is that? So, accurate and comprehensive data informs decision making, ensuring that interventions are based on a thorough understanding of the local context. So, when you are in this particular stage, which is determining vision reality gap, you will need to compare the current reality with the established vision to identify discrepancy or gaps. So, this step helps in pinpointing areas that require attention and improvement. So, for example, because what's the importance of why do we need to, hindi na ba pwede tayong mag-jump sa new vision na? No, you cannot do that because you need to identify the gaps which will help you prioritize issues that need to be addressed to achieve the desired future state. So, you have to ensure that planning efforts are focused on bridging the gap between where the LGU is now and where it wants to be. So, generating new information. So, what will you do there? So, How do you describe that stage? You collect additional data and information necessary for a deeper understanding of the identified gaps. Di ba? Na-identify mo na yung gaps. So, gather more information. And this may involve new survey, studies, or consultations with stakeholders. So, we need to um, ensure completeness of what we do, ensuring that the planning process is based on the most current and comprehensive information available, because new information helps in refining goals and strategies to better address the identified gaps and emerging issues. So, extracting intelligence. So, ano yung ibig mong sabihin diyan, di ba? We need to analyze the collected data to extract meaningful insights. So that's the one it's referring to, extracting meaningful insights and intelligence that will inform the planning process. So this involves identifying trends, patterns, and key issues, among others. So insightful planning is drawing insights, extracting insights means you need to analyze data. So data analysis provides the insights needed to develop effective strategies and information. So you cannot just look up and then count the stars there to to do planning. You need to um you need to analyze it, and you need to do some reflective thinking. Like my advocacy was evaluative thinking. So you need to ensure that the planning process is evidence-based, enhancing the likelihood of successful outcomes. Kaya yung outcomes na prior, which you have seen prior in the uh, previous pages, di ba? So the outcome should be this and this and that, because you need to also achieve that, the outcomes. And outcomes means that you have identified some changes because of your intervention. And because of your the intervention means a PPA or a policy. So if it's a policy, it could be a new policy, or it could be a change in policy or an amended policy. Ganon. And then what else? Ano pa determine? Okay. So, asan na yung matrix? Local Development Indicator System, LDIS. So, it is an output tool that helps identify issues or levels of development or underdevelopment that need to be addressed through interventions. Okay, that's the main role of intervention. So, it involves a set of indicators that measure various aspects of development. That's why we should help. You should help me soon to advocate MNE, because we need to measure everything, isn't it? So we need to measure everything. How can you measure if you don't have a baseline data? So you also need that. Okay, so and how to measure it, you need to create or formulate indicators. So that's the LDIS. So we need to do benchmarking, so focus interventions, deeper insights, remember, insightful planning. So goal formulation, asa na yun? I'll not touch on that, the structured list of PPAs. Okay, by the way, so how do you formulate your goals? Because goal formulation, it's you need to determine what citizens want their city or municipality to become, isn't it? So when they're not happy with what they can imagine, di ba binasa nila yung vision na ginawa ninyo, and then these stakeholders are not happy. And if they're not inspired because of your vision, it means that you got the wrong vision. That means that it's not reflective of what they want their municipalities to become. Okay, so it involves setting clear, achievable goals that align with the vision. So you need to engage as many as possible, as much as possible, your community in the planning process, ensuring that the goals reflect their needs and aspirations. So, kaya vision yan. It's a motherhood statement. It's a tall order. And it's also something that it gives them inspiration to live in the city. Otherwise, if they don't find it achievable or unclear or bizarre, and they want to go to other places, they will just fulfill their careers or their dreams outside your city. So, and you see how important our job is. Okay, so we need to engage them as much as possible, and you need to provide, as a planner, you need to provide a clear direction for planning efforts, ensuring that all actions contribute toward achieving that vision. You see, so you need to pass the board. That's what it means. You need to sacrifice, okay? Because malalim yung ating role, especially when you are an MPDC or a staff of MPDC. But you need to be MPDC, nothing more, nothing less, but you can be more. Okay? Minimum requirement lang yan from your mentor, okay? I need to inspire you to be like that soon. ASAP, di ba, Roderick? Okay, Roderick, di ba? Can you say yes?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, amen to that. So, ano pa ba? Ito, structured list of 10:05 na. The structured list of PPAs, saan na yan? Okay. Yan, ano na yan? So, the determining policy, policy options, setting goals and objectives are already, meron mga, ano din dyan, the templates on how to do it. Okay, so like develop various policy options to address identified issues. So you cannot develop policy options if you don't know the issue in the very first place. You need to have the issue. So this involves exploring different strategies and approaches to achieve the desired outcomes. And so considering multiple policy options, like one issue, it could involve more policies, because this one issue could, madami ding strategies, because you need to choose the best and prioritize also the strategies. So when you considering multiple policy options ensures that, the best strategies are selected for implementation and tailored to the specific needs and context of the LGU. Then setting goals and objectives there, step 7. Meaning, you remember, nakalimutan nyo na yung SMART, di ba? So, establish specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals and objectives, and this should align with the LGU's vision and address the identified gaps. So clear goals and objectives provide a roadmap for action, ensuring that all efforts are focused and directed towards achieving the vision. So yung structuring solutions, number 8 there, is you need to design detailed solutions and interventions to meet the set goals and objectives. So this includes identifying specific PPAs. So what's the importance? Well-structured solutions ensure that interventions are practical, feasible, and effective in addressing the identified issues. So I'm really looking forward to meeting you all after you pass, because there are some policies here, for example, I'm not really agreeing. Parang nakukulangan ako because there's more analytical way of doing things na mas masasagot mo agad. There's a formula in analyzing, there's a formula in goal, and hindi yung ganito. Yeah, I'm not questioning the ILG because I came from the ILG. Just imagine, 17 years I'm with them. So all the things that I'm sharing to you now, I attribute it to how, how I gained knowledge and, the skill set from the ILG actually. So because it was my first job. Okay? So basta dito, yeah, pagtulungan natin later na to to improve more and to contribute to the field. So that's the goal, to contribute to the field of environmental planning. Okay, so structured list, ano kaya ito? Kailangan lang na maano ko ito so ecological profile. Okay, so this is structured list of PPAs as an output document. So what does it mean? So it is a critical output of the CDP planning process that, it compiles proposed interventions. So that's what it means. It compiles proposed interventions from various sectors and links them to the LGU's vision, goals, and objectives. So this structured approach ensures that all proposed activities are organized, prioritized, and ready for implementation. So yun lang yun. Then it says if you are very keen about pag isa-isahin natin ito, readily usable. You normally, di ba, even in previous pages, you've seen readily usable. Ecological profile means that the characteristics or how you describe this so that you can describe it as a readily usable, because you develop a comprehensive ecological profile. So incorporating the updated LGU vision. And this involves collecting and analyzing data on physical, social, economic, environmental, and institutional conditions. So if you were able to incorporate all the vision to this comprehensive ecological profile, and that's the meaning. Do not be overthinking about that. That's the meaning. Why is it always say readily usable? I mean, the ecological profile provides the foundational context for planning, ensuring that interventions are based on a thorough understanding of the local reality. And the LDIS there as let's see, ayan, local development indicator systems I already explained earlier. So you use the LDIS table to identify key indicators. So yung LDIS na yun, don't forget yung IDOAN indicator. So these are key indicators of development and underdevelopment. Okay. This tool helps in diagnosing issues and measuring progress. So it's the LDIS table provides systematic way to track development indicators, ensuring that planning is data-driven and evidence-based. So structured list, there, nasabi ko na siguro yan, and then approving and legitimizing the plan. So it means you secure formal approval and legitimization of the CDP from relevant authorities and stakeholders. So that's the official approval, which provides the mandate for implementation, ensuring that the plan is supported and authorized by all necessary parties. So that investment programming on number 10, you allocate resources and develop a detailed investment program to support the implementation of the plan, because investment programming ensures that financial resources are effectively allocated to priority projects and activities. So budgeting there, you prepare detailed budgets for the implementation of the planned projects and activities, because proper budgeting ensures that financial resources are managed effectively, or efficiently, and that planned interventions are feasible and sustainable. Then implementation of the plan. Implementing the plan, you execute the planned projects and activities according to approved plan and budget. So that implementation translates the plans into tangible actions and results, leading to the achievement of development goals. And then, of course, the plan MNE, it's about continuously monitoring and evaluating the progress of the plan to ensure that it is on track and making the desired impact. So it also provides feedback for continuous improvement and accountability. So keyword accountability, they help in identifying areas that need adjustment and ensuring the goals are met. So I think we are okay with that. So you can, ano ba yan? Yan yung table ng rationalized planning indicator. Okay, so you can just go over them. Meron mga well-being dyan, halos. So, and then here, ito yung kanina. So, the RAPIDS indicator composition, yeah, but by the way, RAPIDS aims to guide local planners in identifying development indicators. So we need to be very good also at constructing, yeah. May ano yan eh, may formula on how to do it. So next time, okay? Identifying development indicators that are tailored to their LGU to the LGU's ecosystem and development trust. So this leads to a more responsive and applicable indicator set. So it links local planning processes to national programs and international standards, ensuring consistency and relevance. Remember, CDP, nagkakamali ako doon. CDP should be consistent with the national medium-term Philippine Development Plan, right? So, then also RAPID allows LGUs to adopt indicators that reflect their unique characteristics, making the planning process more relevant and effective. So, so of course, yung mga hindi taga-government, baka kasi tanungin yung ano, yung CBMS, so and then CBMS means Community-Based Monitoring System, and the SGLG also means Seal of Good Local Governance. So can you please wala na akong oras to to explain about that kasi or just 3 days gusto ko lang lahat ay this discussion becomes inclusive both for those who are with government and those who are in the private sector, academia, and if meron taga CSO dito or or freelance practitioners. So kailangan malaman natin yun kasi sayang naman yung points kapag hindi natin ma-meet. So yung minimum basic indicators, okay, just to make sure baka lang tanungin, baka we will regret, the RAPIDS indicator is comprised of minimum basic indicators. It's a set of core indicators applicable to all LGUs covering essential development concerns common across various ecosystems and mandated by national policies. So, this ensures a consistent baseline for planning across different LGUs, facilitating comparison and standardization. And then yung ecosystem-based indicators also, this is specific to the ecological characteristics of the LGU, such as coastal, upland, or urban ecosystems. And because this particular indicator addresses the unique environmental conditions and challenges of each LGU, promoting sustainable and context-specific development. While sectoral or thematic indicators, okay, huwag niyang kalimutan yung equivalent term. Planning is all about equivalent terms. Okay. Baka kasi you might take it something like they are distinct of each other, but yeah, they are related. So I always say equivalent term, sectoral in this particular context in the CDP process, sectoral thematic indicators. So these are indicators addressing sectoral concerns like gender, tourism, conflict sensitivity, and business friendliness. So ensures that all critical sectors are considered in the planning process, promoting comprehensive and inclusive development. And so, ano pa ba? And then you can see the line there, pointing to that, yeah, the convergence. So customize LGU development indicators. See, there are 4 types of indicators. Indicators specifically that customized one. These are indicators specifically chosen by the LGU based on its unique development trust and priorities, and it allows for a highly tailored approach to planning, ensuring that local priorities and goals are effectively addressed. So, rationalizing, kaya meron dyan rationalizing, and you just need to read. Ang hirap ano, parang kulang yung ano ninyo, yung time ninyo, no? Parang gusto mo nang gamitin lahat yung sleeping time ninyo to read, ano? So that's what I meant before. You reduce your sleeping time and other times. So you just keep learning muna. Malapit na, okay? Malapit na. So the existing set of LDIs here. Okay, so yeah, you might see them as rigid, extensive, but this rigidity anyway can also lead to misinterpretation and inefficient use of resources. But it will be good for the process itself and during the implementation of the plan itself. So another Venn diagram is there, so I should not miss this one. That the Venn diagram illustrates the relationship between the existing LDIS and RAPIDS. So it shows which indicators from LDIS were retained and were retained in RAPIDS and which were excluded. I mean, natanggal, ganun, diba? So, I already explained about indicators of LDIS. Which are these indicators with diminished importance due to technological advancements. So indicators, for example, needing data that are too costly to gather, and then indicators with no clear benchmark, no national standard or target set by an NGA. So those are LDIS indicators. Diba ito, nakikita niya sa bullet niya. And then rapid indicators, so blah, 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 1, 2, 3, okay? Already, you can just look at it. So the intersection, okay, the intersection in the diagram is the rapids. I mean, it represents indicators from LDIS that were retained in rapids. So ensuring continuity and relevance, okay? So it should be customized. So it's something that it's a product of an analysis between this one, LDIS and the rapids, okay? What else? Okay, so building the rapids database. What do you see here? So you have an example table, so development sector, kind of planning area, what is being measured, indicators. So it's all about like M&E, I'm happy to see this one as a development in CDP. Wala dati ito, but it means that they have, so over time they have built a culture of evaluation. So the list is presented, like pwede sa Excel or sa kapag gawin na ninyo ito, no? Allowing users to navigate, also filter the list based on specific rights. So ano yung nakikita natin doon? Kita mo ninyo, applies to all, and then so you just have to always in evaluation, there's a need to list the data source, because it is verifiable instrument. So something that it's here where you can, kasi it should be evidence-based, diba, for one thing. And another thing is because it should be data-driven. So it involves rates, it involves ganyan. Although for M&E, it's most of the time it's qualitative. But of course, when you're able to blend a quantitative approach and in an evaluation process, and that should be the most interesting evaluation tool. Okay, so you can also see like bakit kaya meron meron ganyan like a cart because yeah, like a grocery shopping, because the document likens using Rapids to grocery shopping where LGU select indicators. So nagsha-shopping ka, right? So based on their specific needs and circumstances. So this approach empowers LGUs to control their resources effectively. So there's a mandatory minimum set. So despite the customization, Rapids include a mandatory minimum set of indicators that all LGUs must monitor, addressing common concerns such as disaster, risk reduction, and gender mainstreaming. So yeah, some focus on these thematic goals. Also, so there's basic minimum indicators daan. Tab color yellow. Okay, yellow. Kita nyo? So, you try to analyze that na lang, because kita nyo naman, basic minimum and then ecosystems and then based on area characteristics and then development trust. So, it's something that you need to choose. Ganyan. Siguro naman, di naman tayo pagagawan ng ganyan pa, no? And then there's the ecosystem-based indicators, lowland. So it's the ecosystem, di ba? So I mentioned about lowland, forest, urban, coastal. So you can see also here. Indicators based on other area characteristics, freshwater, mining, NIPAS. So this is another one. Okay. Then the pag naman, development trust or special thematic concerns, then conflict sensitivity, business friendliness, child friendliness, tourist development, heritage conservation, a lot talaga. Naglagay talaga sila ng heritage pa dyan, So, ito na. So, you remember, I also screenshot this particular part para makita ninyo how to, populate it. Okay? Nag-start siya sa like a vision. Then, spatial. So there are sectoral dimension, there's spatial dimension, temporal. So what's the temporal dimension anyway? Okay. So it's all about provided that the entries in LDIS are updated on a regular time. LDIS can also provide analysis across time to establish patterns and trends in the behavior of outcome indicators. So, well, for the sectoral kasi, the sectoral dimension, data is organized. So you see, but of course, there are 5 main sectors, di ba? Yun, yung social, economic, ganun. And this organization, this one, when you are organizing the data, it ensures that all critical aspects of development are considered, leading to a comprehensive understanding of the local situation. So that's the benefit. And then the spatial dimension naman is, it's prescribing the monitoring of indicators for smaller planning areas. What are these? The barangays, so within the LGU. So, and compare and evaluating the LGU's performance relative to the broader regional context. You remember the LQ? So, yeah, I think ginaya nila itong part na to, no? So, and this enables LGUs to identify spatial disparities and target interventions effectively. ensuring balanced development across different areas. Then the temporal naman involves involves updating the LDIS data at regular intervals to analyze trends and patterns over time, and this allows LGUs to monitor progress and assess the impact of interventions and make some data-driven decisions based on temporal trends. So, okay, and you can see there, okay. Di ba? So, if you're higher than the parent LGU, in the hierarchy, like if you are comparing your city or your municipality with your with the province, then yeah, if you obtain one, isn't it, that it means that you're higher in that particular industry that you're trying to evaluate or rate, or you're determining the location quotient, so you're into exporting, and then you expect some multiplier effects of that, having an LQ equals 1 or over 1. Okay. So, ganun din yun, parang hindi lang niya sinabi dyan. So, but you know, the measure for you, if you have advanced your knowledge in a particular topic na normally hindi dinidiscuss, so it means that you have already gained advanced information or advanced knowledge, kasi it means that it was not explicit in that particular paragraph or page or sentence, but you're able to relate it to something else, which you are confident that you've already you already understood that principle or that particular concept or theory. So that's an indicator that you are advancing, okay? And you can confidently use that idea or concept or theory or anything or principle. And so, okay na siguro tayo. But what is this also? Ano to? Well, okay. So this is, can you see the ladderized system? So this is the ladderized system. Classifies significant data based on 4 major categories: the basic minimum, ecosystem, area, characteristic data set, development priorities. Okay, so it's just a step-by-step process, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that you establish demographics, basic services, and all those what you see there. And LGU institutional capacities are common to all says. So, what are the requirements of this? So, like population, and the social sector, those information, and then institutional sector, basic services, okay, like health, education, etc., gender sensitivity, and then DRR. So, these data sets provide the foundational information about the LGU's population and its capacity to deliver essential services which are critical for effective planning. Then we characterize number 2. So you characterize the ecosystems. So you are seeing the data there, no? Requirements, coastal, forest, lowland, agricultural, urban ecosystem. So we need to understand the ecosystem that that ecosystem helps in assessing environmental conditions and planning for sustainable management of natural resources. So also include other area characteristics. It says choose as needed. What do you mean by that? So again, in terms of data, so freshwater, mining, protected areas. Freshwater means the rivers, bay, streams. Data for mining areas, for NIPAS and NIPAS. Data for areas with ancestral domains. So parang ano lang, that's CLUP. So that's the but in the lens of evaluation, in the lens of rapid, okay? So and LDIS, iba naman yung sa CLUP. Although it's talking about the same sectors and also some data, but this is in the lens of evaluation. Okay, because it's about, like determining all those data requirements and focusing on those priorities that should ensure that the data collected supports the LGU's specific development goals and thematic concerns. So, yeah, they are what? The this data, the rationalized data sets are designed to derive the value of identifying planning indicators, okay, ensuring the information in the ecological profile is useful for planning. So, kapag for example, you encountered this in your board exam, for example, and then because I lectured this tonight but you missed or kulang na yung oras ninyo, hindi na kayo nakapagbasa nito after tonight. At least it will still ring a bell in when you encounter this in your test questions, 'di ba? Kasi like paano kung hindi natin pinagkaabalahan like rapids, ano kaya yung rapids, etc. At least it will ring a bell, hindi na tayo mazi-zero. But iba kasi kapag ang drive mo is to become top-notcher, yun bang you force yourself, but just be very careful, okay? Not to be, yeah, stress or burnout. Burnout kasi iba yung feeling ng nababurnout, okay? You need to pretend that you enjoy. But it's just a joke, okay? You need to really feel it to your chest that you love it, okay? So, what else? Now I'm smiling because sobrang seryoso nyo, no? I know naman, ilalaban ko itong group na ito, di ba? I always tell that, lalaban ko din ito. Nakikita ko naman yung nire-review ng iba. Nakikita ko yung mga meron na akong mga at least measurement, di ba? I know how to measure I know how to measure other people also. The way you're tackling, the way your scores are manifesting, and the way you're asking questions, I just know all of you will pass. Okay, wag lang kayong maano. What else? Grabe na to, no? Annalyn? Sa Annalyn?
Yes po, ma'am.
Ano, pati ako, hindi ko na rin alam yung ko no? When I wake up, ala, exam na ba today? So I will be, asan ako? I will be in Bohol. Okay, I will be in Panglao on the day of your exam. Sana wala namang doon, walang walang testing center. Normally I go to a place na may testing center, kaya lang nagkataon na I was invited to speak also in Bohol. So baka but of course I will be 24/7 for you, for all of you guys, okay? So remember, don't hesitate. So kaya you add me na, okay? Add me on Facebook. Kung hindi ka makasulat doon sa GC, write me directly, I'll answer you, okay? Pero yung mga lang yung mga mahirap lang pero pag kaya nyo na, wag nyo nang itanong sa akin so that I can dedicate more time doon sa mga mahirap na sagutin, okay? So, LDIP, okay? Ano to? So there's it's color coded there. So it's the primary tool for translating the CDP into specific programs and projects, which the LGU will fund through its annual budget or special funds. So it outlines the prioritization of projects and the allocation of resources to ensure the effective implementation of the CDP. So again, the LDIP should cover a time frame of 3 years. And an essential component of the LDIP is the annual investment program. Okay, it's a component of LDIP, which details the programs and projects to be funded each year. So, preparation, so the LDIP, where is it? Okay, ito ba yan? Oops. Okay, here. Here muna. So, the LDIP should cover, again, I should cover a time frame of 3 years. And so the LDIP preparation is a basis for the budget document submitted to the DBM. DBM's budget operations manual, and for LGU. But it involves selecting priority projects from the CDP that will be included in the annual budget. So the investment program is part of the, of the local budget's investment portion, which earmarked for financing priority projects in the AIP. And the remaining budget portion covers the cost of LGU functions and services. So, yeah, you can see their personal services. Green, di ba? So, what are these? Baka naman meron hindi pa nakakaalam. The salaries and wages, di ba? For government employees. So, and then MOOE, the blue one, the MOOE means that expenses for the daily operations of government offices and ensures that offices can operate smoothly and support project implementation. And then office capital outlay, the light blue, investments in office equipment and infrastructure. You know what? There were also questions before identifying is it MOE or is it capital outlay, office capital outlay. So you should also be aware kasi meron din yung mga questions na ganito. And then so investments in office equipment and infrastructure that enhances the operational capacity of government office. So there's also statutory obligations, the purple. Is it purple? Okay. These are mandatory payments such as debt servicing, and statutory remittances. So it ensures compliance with legal and financial obligations. And then, of course, the ERA, the light green. No, light. Ano to? Violet, red. Sorry, I'm colorblind. Sorry, mga purple, to pala na set. Starting from ERA, yung statutory obligations, is it red or pink? Ano to? Jen, red ba yan o pink? Sorry, I need to know. Yung statutory obligations. Ano to, Elvis?
Parang red-orange.
Different. Red or pink? Di ba no? We cannot identify
Red-orange, ma'am.
Yan, okay. And then the ERA, yun na yung medium, medium violet. Light, medium, and then dark. Okay. Anyway, ERAs, of course, that's the LGU share of national taxes. And then the non-office capital outlay, the investments in public infrastructure. Oo nga, no? Yeah, and facilities outside of government offices. So. Then the non-office MOE, yeah, the dark violet there are operating expenses for public services and community programs. So, I think we are okay with this particular, meron pa pala itong, I think, okay na to. So, sorry, let's see. Okay. And then the fourth step, konti lang ba ito? What is this? Okay, so which is the preparation sa LDIP. So that's the fourth step. Okay, focusing on the preparation of the LDIP. Again, this LDIP translates the CDP into specific actionable projects and programs that are prioritized and funded over a 3-year period. So you prepare the project brief, diba? You prepare project brief for each PPA. So what is that? So you detail descriptions of each PPA that you prepare, and then which should include objectives, expected outcomes, timelines, and resource requirements. So it's an evaluation focused, activity, because it tackles about expected outcomes. So this should provide clarity and ensures that each project is well planned and feasible. And then conduct further screening and prioritization means that the structured list of PPAs is further screened. So because nakalagay, pag tanungin ito sa board, conduct further screening. So meron na siyang keyword so that you answers the structured list of PPAs is further screened, di ba? Parang, and prioritize based on specific criteria and matrices. So this ensures that most critical and impactful projects are prioritized for funding and implementation. Then determine new investment, financial or financing potential means that you assess the potential for new investments and identify financing options to ensure that sufficient resources are available for the prioritized projects. And then you formulate now the local resources mobilization program and financing plan. You're developing strategies for mobilizing this local resources and creating financial plan to secure funding and resources necessary for implementing the LDIP. So there are some templates. So all those forms or outputs there, they are all in the annexes, and all those pages there, I've seen them. So you can also see on the PDF I sent today in your GC. So what else? So yung timeline niya, no, December of election year. So this December, preparation begins. And then January of ensuing year, that's the completion and approval of the LDIP. Baka tanungin din yan. And then of course the municipal planning team and local finance committee. Okay, that's the this one. Okay, naka-indicate din diyan yung roles and responsibilities. Participate in prioritization activities and ensure sectoral representation, ensure diligent and judicious prioritization, coordinate with relevant agencies, then formulate the LRMP and financial plan. Baka tanungin anong meaning ng LRMP, that's the Local Resource Mobilization Program. Then the LDC also, okay, LDC. Aside from the LFC, so LDC also screens and shortlist the shortlist PPAs using specific matrices. So as to urgency, resource impact, conflict, compatibility, complementarity. A lot. Local budget officer also prepares the medium-term forecast for current operating expenses, and then there are streams of LDIP preparation. So structured, ranked, financing, blah blah blah. So baka lang so again, LDIP preparation. So that's step 4. So you can also see the streams described there. Madali lang yan na siguro. And then, wow, sobrang ito na yung financing planning process niya, no? If you have time, then you can still go over this. And then, prepare needed implementation resources for the step 5. Step 5, okay. So what you transform, okay, preparation 7. So this is to yeah, this involves preparing the necessary instruments and authority levers to implement the priority PPAs outlined in the LDIP. And this step ensures that a well-crafted plan does not remain merely a document, but is actively implemented and monitored, diba? It's more dynamic than the CLUP because of its nature. And of course, because it's aligned with the, political term of the local officials. So purpose is to transition from planning to implementation by preparing the AIP. So a very good plan, it says, it's emphasized here, a very good plan remains to be just another document if it is not implemented. So, okay, you identify legislative requirements and developing capacity and monitoring strategies. So, when you prepare the AIP, so it should be consistent with the LDIP, diba? It cannot be different. So develop the AIP, which represents the yearly segment of the 3-year LDIP. And this ensures a focus and manageable implementation of projects on an annual basis. And then you identify, after preparing the, please mute. Please. Okay. And after preparing the AIP, you identify priority legislative requirements needed to support the implementation of the LDIP. So you secure the legal and policy support for the planned projects and activities. So then identify priority capacity, the CapDev, okay? CapDev. Measures. So then you enhance the capabilities of the actual capability. What's this? The implementation of CapDev, isn't it? So then you can now prepare your M&E strategy. So what will you monitor there? So a lot of layers of M&E here. So we need to be very careful in answering because in this particular context, it's you develop a comprehensive strategy for M&E in the implementation of the LDIP. Okay, so you ensure implementation is on track and that outcomes are measured and assessed for effectiveness. And then it's time to approve and adopt the CDP. So that's to formally, to formalize the CDP. That's through the approval and adoption by the appropriate governing body. Then officially endorses because this is in a manner that you officially endorse the plan and making it the guiding document for local development efforts. So then there's also the leading, all those actors there, the stakeholders. Then so what do we have here? So it says there that in accordance with the provisions of Joint Memorandum Circular Number 001, Series of 2007, the LDC shall call out the AIP from the current slides of the LDC. Okay, this is easy. Which upon approval of the Sangguniang shall serve as the basis for preparing the executive budget. So there you go. June naman, AIP, Sangguniang approved June 7 of every year. Okay, please don't forget, June 7 of every year. And then March naman, sa March, priority legislative requirements, CapDev program, and MNs. Not later than March of the ensuing year. Okay. So I think so you're very familiar with the CapDev, right? So CapDev na kasi yan noon before nagkaroon pa ng it's a generic term for me eh. Before pa nagkaroon ng CDP, CapDev is already there. We used to say CapDev even during the 1990s. So yan. So the implementation as output. So then the review process. So I think it should also get our attention a little. a little pertaining to the review process, isn't it? That it is because it's essential to ensure that the LGU's plan align with national policies, guidelines, and development goals. So this process involves assessing the plan's compliance, consistency, and comprehensiveness to promote effective implementation and continuous improvement. So compliance assessment means that you have to ensure that the LGU CTP adheres to policy-based budgeting principles, for example, as outlined in the CDP guidelines. So it guarantees that the plan aligns with higher level policies and principles, fostering coherence in planning efforts. So then you align it with national frameworks. So yeah, verify that the CDP aligns with the PDPFP because di ba, it is a combined approach, combined strategy at the provincial level, which is I think the most unique structure. So it should be it should align with the Provincial Development and Physical Framework Plan or the PDPFP and the Provincial Development Investment Program, although nakahiwalay yung PDIP in terms of what alignment as to development goals, objectives, and strategies. And physical framework, investment program. So you remember, yeah, the plan itself has its all these strategies, policies, blah blah blah. But let's not forget one of the salient features of any plan is the framework. And in this particular particular context, the physical framework and then the investment program. So yeah, this ensures that the plan supports broader development objectives and is consistent with regional and national priorities. Then you add you also review adherence to preparation process, such that you assess the preparation process and content of the CDP against the requirements of policy-based budgeting. Okay, as per the ILG guidelines. Okay, so ensures that the plan also follows the prescribed process, enhancing its credibility and legitimacy. So but feedback, the feedback mechanism for improvements in the CDP should also be, should be complied with. Okay, to facilitate continuous improvement and refinement of the planning process. Then the qualifications for grants and support, you need to establish criteria for future performance grants and other support from the national government. So, and you link plans quality to eligibility for financial and technical assistance, incentivizing better planning practices. So when you're showing and there's so much integrity in your plan, in your strategies, and the manner how you formulated your mandatory plans, then yeah, it ensures in and yeah, future grants and in your proposals and to several institutions, then that should matter, and because even private sector, like investments, if you're looking into that, then your plans, which is full of integrity would matter a lot to them, because that will give them a full picture of how relevant or how how relevant their investments would be in your area or in your city or municipality. So so for component LGUs, the PDC with the PPDO acting as the technical secretariat conducts the review. So in this particular context, okay, the PDC with the PPDO acting as the technical secretariat. Sila din yung secretariat sa PILOC, di ba? So, and then components of the review process: form review, process review, content review, And so yeah, CDP review process there. Okay. Form, process, content. Okay. So what else? The CDP review process is quite simple, and this is conducted by the PDC with the PPDO. And criteria should be aligned with the standards, the set standard, and then the inclusivity of your plan. That inclusivity meaning that you have promoted, broad stakeholder engagement. And then as to quality, that it's focused on actionable and coherent planning, and then linking to funding that, demonstrating or means that you were able to what's that? The linking to funding means incentivizes better planning through performance-based grants. Also, these are my key insights, like continuous improvement means that it provides feedback and promotes adaptive planning practices. So by implementing a structured and thorough review process, LGUs can ensure that their CDPs are not only compliant with guidelines, but also effective, inclusive, and continuously improving. So I think, here, March of ensuing year. And then, I think we are okay, because this is already the calendar. Okay. So I think we've covered enough. We've covered enough already. And now the basic principles of the CDP formulation. So I think we can end here, Jen. How did it feel to have a glimpse of the CDP? Di ba normally 1 month ito ng training, di ba, Menandro? I really love how Menandro